It's starting to get hot. It's starting to feel like summer is here, and all the sweaters go into the closet, and out come out all the tank tops and the shorts. Well, when it comes to knitting, sometimes it feels like not quite the time to be sitting down and grabbing some heavy wool or working on a sweater. If that's your case, if you don't not really feeling it, I don't blame you. That has happened to me too. I kind of sometimes lose my knitting mojo when the weather gets warmer. But something that helps is knitting summer patterns, especially tops. I love wearing summer knit tops. And I mean, I'm not very into the trends, but I have noticed that a lot of knitting and crochet is out there for summer tops. For the past few years, it just keeps going strong. So instead of, going into a fast fashion shop and buying something, why not make your own summer top and keep your knitting mojo going and also end up with something really nice and breezy to wear? I actually have made quite a few summer tops over the years. It's just kind of one of my favorite things to knit. It's a little faster than a sweater because it tends to be more worsted weight, and it also tends to be sleeveless or be a tank top. So it is like a faster thing. You can knit it using something like cotton or linen or a blend of it, or a yarn that's going to be a lot lighter so it won't make you feel hot as you're knitting it. So all in all, it's a great project for this time of year. So today I thought I'd bring to you some of my favorite patterns for summer tops. This includes tees, um, this includes tank tops, tees, and any kind of, summery upper body type of pattern. I put a combination of free patterns and paid patterns because honestly, there are a lot of really good paid patterns that I think are worth the money. But there's also some option if you want to be on a budget and try a pattern that is free out there. There are some options that are really good. And a lot of these patterns I have actually knit myself. Others I have not, but they are in my queue. So either way, I will put a picture, the name, and the price on screen as I'm going through them to help you figure out which one you're gonna knit this summer. So let's get into it. I'm gonna start off with the one that I'm wearing right now because you're probably wondering, well, what is the top you're wearing? And this is one of my favorite summer patterns. It's a tee, and I'll put a better picture on screen. But it's a tee and it's all lace. I'm not gonna lie, it's not an easy pattern, but I love it so much I've actually made it twice. So this is the Mangrove Tee by Trust the Mojo. Like I said, it's a very simple construction, not a very simple pattern. It definitely is like a more intermediate. You have to be very confident in knitting lace. But once you understand the repeat and you do it a few times, it gets a little easier and it ends up looking so beautiful. And not only that, this tee is a thing at least 3 years old. I've made it a while ago and it always has looked so good. It does not lose its shape. I always get so many compliments. It is very comfortable and airy. I knit it with cotton. It might have been We Are the Knitters cotton. So it's hold up really well. And like I said, I made it twice. I gift one to my sister and she loves it too. Very high on my list. I very much recommend it. And because it's a tee, it's like very casual, very easy to wear. It's not tight and she has a good range of sizes. So my first recommendation is the Mangrove Tee. If you're looking for something a lot more light weather, like really hot weather tank, there's a free option by Jessie Made. She makes the most beautiful patterns, so classic, so inclusive, and all kinds of them. She has like mock tanks, and I feel like she's made tees, and there's so many patterns from her. So like you can just look, if you don't know her, you can just look her up as a designer and you'll find a lot of stuff. But this one specifically, it's a pattern that she has made available for free. I believe maybe a few summers ago, she was having this secret top knit along, and this is the result. It's a beautiful tank top, very simple, but I have not made it yet, but it looks like a fun one to make and like just perfect for, summer night and you're maybe dress it up before going out, or literally going to the beach. Like, it's beautiful, and I believe it's fingering yarn, so it's definitely very thin. So that's more like a tank top kind of situation. If you're looking for more of like not quite so like halter, there are a few options. I'm gonna plug my own one tank top that I made recently, which is the dandelion top. It's a very simple square shaped top that is meant to be worn loose. And this came up with the idea of the dandelion stitch, which is a beautiful lace. I don't know if you would call it lace, but it's a nice special stitch that creates this type of dandelion shaped flowers. So it has that detail at the bottom, and then the rest of the top is kind of like a simple square tank top. I released it earlier this spring, and I also have a tutorial for how to do the dandelion stitch, which might be the hardest part of this top if you've never done it before, but once you watch the video you probably will have an idea on how to do it. And I think this one's more beginner. I would think if you're a beginner and you know how to knit in the round, you're good to go to make this top. So I totally recommend it, even though it's my pattern. It's a very fun one. Another square type of tank top that I really like, but that looks very different, it's the Chasing Bubbles top by Needles and Life. My friend Kaylee from Needles and Life, and she first made a kid version, so you can make a kid version of this actually. And then recently she released an adult version of this pattern, which I was very excited for. It's such a cute, beautiful one. It has this nice bubble details all around. And I think my favorite part about this top is how she made the straps kind of like ties. So you have these beautiful ties on the shoulders that I think give it like that special something, and the bubbles, but the ties I think make it look very different from other knit tops. So I really love this one too. Now if you're looking for a tank top with more of the wider strap shape and not so much thin ones, there is also the Streamline Tank by Two of Wands, which is a free one. And this is such a nice, simple one. I really like the straps. Like I said, it has also detail on the front. And I like that you can notice that it's knit on the round, but on the side, there has a separation at the bottom. So it's very like loose fitting. I feel like this would be great to just throw on, and you could dress it up with a blazer or dress it down with shorts or, you know, whatever. It is a lot more versatile probably. And it looks very comfortable too. I like those type of tops that, especially if you're more of a busty girl and don't want to wear like something tight that it's gonna have to hold them up. This one is nice and loose and, you know, and free. Another nice thing that Drew once made it a free one. So I think this one is knit with Lion Brand Kobu, which I have not knit with yet. But I believe that is bamboo yarn. So that's another option for summer yarns that you can knit with. Staying in the tank top section of this video, there's another one that I like that again gets a little more complicated because it has the lace situation similar to the mangrove tee, is the leaf top, which again has that leaf motif with the lace. And this is a pattern by the Knit Stitch. I actually have made this one too. I made it maybe 2 years ago and I gifted it to my sister as well. My sister lives in a warmer weather place, so I tend to knit a lot of summery tops for her. She can't wear as much sweaters and wool and stuff. So that's when I kind of go crazy and find these type of patterns to make for her, and she loves them. Other than the lace and this being like a thinner, loose type of top, it has a nice detail because it actually has buttons on the front, which you can fake. You can just sew, I mean, you knit it separate, but you can sew it together and sew the buttons and it just becomes a detail. Or you can actually make button holes and make it so that you can close it. So this is like the only tank top I've seen like this that has buttons. It's not quite a cardigan because it doesn't work like one, but you could probably wear it as a vest or, you know, with a longer sleeves or something when it's a little warmer, I think it could work like that too, because of the buttons and because of how it's constructed. It's a beautiful one. You can see I really love this type of lace for summer patterns, and I knit it with cotton as well, so it's a nice option. Moving on to more tee situation. If you're looking for a tee and not so much like a t-shirt and not so much tank top, there are quite a few tees out there, but some of my favorite ones, I do favor, like I said, I favor lace for the summer a lot. If you're not into lace, I give you other options, but I love how it looks, and it does make the garment a lot lighter and a lot more breezy, so that's why I love it. So this one is called Circes by Miriam Lee Designs. I have not made it yet, but it is high on my list because it is so beautiful. It's a simple tee construction, and the nice part about it is that all the lace is on the sleeves and on the side of the body, so it is such a nice, dainty, like delicate lace detail. But on the front, if you don't want something see-through like this, that you have to wear something underneath, or it's a little more, this one is great because it's just stockinette on the front and back, and all of that detail is on the sides and on the sleeves. So it's a lot less lace than something like what I'm wearing, but it still has like a beautiful detail. And on top of that, this is a free pattern. So definitely a very good option if you want to try your hand on making a tee. This next pattern is a 2-for-1 because this designer has made the same design in a tee and on a tank top. So you have options if you want to do either of this. And this is the couture tee or the couture top. So same lace detail. I actually made this one also very recently with a linen alpaca, I think it was linen alpaca mix, I can't remember exactly, but it was the couture top. I made the tank top version. I mean, the difference is just the construction, but it is using the same type of lace detail on the yoke, and it is so beautiful, and this was not hard to make. I know it looks very intricate, you just have to pay attention to your row, but I didn't have a hard time knitting it at all, and I really enjoyed this pattern. So this, like I said, this is the couture top by Sari Nordland, and it's beautiful. I don't know what to say. I want to make it again. Maybe in the tee version or maybe another tank top. It's just so great. And another nice thing is that both the front and the back have the same lace detail. And then once you're done with the yoke, you just knit everything else stockinette. So it's quite beautiful and simple. So to go on a break from lace options, I'm gonna give you one that is actually one of my patterns, and it is my most popular pattern since the moment I released it. People have really loved it, and I really appreciate the good response to it. Every summer I get a big spike of people buying it and making it. So it's very fun to see all the different versions. And this is the Astoria top. It's another tank top type of thing. This one is supposed to be worn close to the body. It's almost like a bralette. It is the crop top, but it gives you options to make it longer. And it is a simple ripped crop top with a little detail under the bust to give it like the shape that you can see. So very simple design, I think, but a very favorite one and a very favorite one to wear. I also knit it with sport yarn and cotton, so it is definitely a very airy, light knit, and it's hold up really well over the years. I think people really like it, and again, you can make it like very short like a bralette, or longer like a tank top that's close to the body. Either way, I think it looks great. My favorite one is always the white one for some reason. I always go back to that one, but people have made it in a lot of different colors, and there's no lace involved in this one, so that's the plus side of it. So even though the Astoria top is not free, I do have a free video tutorial for it, which you can follow. It only has one size, but you can follow the video and then just follow your size for the number of counts, but it'll take you through the entire process of making that top. So if you are more of a beginner and feel like you're not quite ready to knit a top by yourself, you can definitely try this top. I really recommend it if you want to try something new this summer. Another Jessie May pattern that I really like, I promise I'm not gonna give you all of them, and this one's not free, and I'm talking about the mini mock neck tank. It's a very classic tank top situation. Very simple looking, but very sleek. I really like it. Looks very nice on everybody who's wearing it. I really like the neck line and how well it sits on the body. It's always a good option to go with her patterns because the sizing is wonderful all around. So I really recommend looking at all of her other patterns, but this is one of my favorite ones. Going back to more lace and airy type of patterns, this is another tee, and it's called the Anders tee by Colibri by Johanna. I don't know if this type of lace has a name, diamond kind of one. I know it's kind of similar to other lace patterns, but I feel like this one's simpler because it's the same diamond shape, and I have not knit it, but I feel like it might be a more attainable for someone who's more beginner. It gives the same really airy, light look that would look great in cotton, and I really like how the neck is very well defined, and the sleeves look a little longer, and it's different like this type of sleeve that is loose. They're a little bit longer. Maybe this is something that would be nice to wear once you're switching from summer to fall or from spring to summer, where there are some days that are a little bit colder but not cold enough for a sweater. This would be a good tee for that, I feel like. So it's a little bit warmer, quote unquote, looks like, because of the longer sleeves, but it's still nice and airy, so I would definitely knit it for the summer. One last tee that I recommend, and it's a free one to end on a great note, is the Daybreak tee by Nifty Knittings. And this is a very nice tee, another simple one with a nice joke and then stockinette body, but very short sleeves, and it looks very like easy to wear, light. I really liked it for a free pattern. It's kind of unbelievable that this is free, and I feel like it's something that you can knit maybe in warmer wool yarn if you wanted to, and again wear it more towards the a little bit cooler in between seasons, or wear it with a very light cotton or other yarn. Those are my 12 summer pattern recommendations. I'd love to hear about which one's your favorite and which one you're gonna be knitting this summer. And I hope that if you are in the Northern Hemisphere and it's starting to get warm for you too, that you have a wonderful summer and enjoy your summer knitting. Thanks for watching.